I used Penny to bring these cattle out of the pens and into the pasture, and I did tell her to down because when I asked her to walk, she was just walking way too fast. So I'm going to ask her to walk again, and she's again walking fast. So what I do is I say, hey, hey, try to scold her and try to get her slowed down. And if she doesn't, I'm going to apply physical pressure, so you can see me here in a second, put my hands up, hey, hey, and walk towards her, put my hands up. And now she's just pushed too far, so I'm going to push her out. Push her out off the cattle, and then down her, and then redirect her. So there, she should check up, and she did. And we're going to walk. So as long as she's walking, she's got the cattle coming to me, everything is good. So you saw that little speed up there, I gave her a hey. I want her walking. A slow trot is maybe okay. It just depends on what your stock are doing. If she's pushing them past you, she's going too fast. Here I'm going to try to start her on a little bit of driving. So I want her in between me and the cattle, and I want her to push them away from me and take them in a straight line somewhere. This is hard for a lot of dogs, especially starting out, because they don't really understand what you're asking them to do. They have to take control. So right now I'm just trying to focus on not allowing her to flank all the way around and bring them back to me. So I tell her there, walk. She's walking. That's really nice. She's in contact with the cattle. I use all the same directionals here for driving. Combine away, there, and stop, or down. And then also I might use my here command if she takes the flank a little bit flat. I would say here, call her more to me, and then flank her again. So I just want to keep her between me and the cattle. So after I've done a little bit of driving with her, I'm going to change it up. So I think I'm going to call her all the way around this time. So it's just changing it up so that she's not thinking that she's going to turn in at any specific point. Just come by. I want her to stay way out nice off the cattle. Her distance off the cattle should be the same all the way around the clock. And that's why I've got that little arrow there, because she needed to get out, and she did. If you're not seeing your dog get control of the stock, they're probably working in too close, or they're not catching the outside eye of the livestock. And I'll do another video on that later. So she's nice and far out, and I'm sending her away this time. See, she's turned in here, so I'm going to tell her out. And she does. That's really nice. So she's out off the stock, and right about here, she's got control of them. So they're headed directly to me, and that's perfect. Now they're cattle, so they're not going to stay with me for very long. They're going to continue to move, but she did get them turned completely to me, and we're going to try to go the other way here until they decided to run back to the draw, and I flanked her away. Right there. She's got control. Very nice. So she really does need to check up. See how she's pushed in too far, and now she's way up on the cattle. So she's just in too close. She can still maintain control from a distance. I've left a couple of moments of chaos in here just to kind of show you, because things happen. She's still a green dog. They're still going to happen, and I want you to know how to fix it. So what's going to happen is my cattle are going to run for the draw because they see an opportunity, and I ask her to cover, and she just comes in too close. So there are a couple of ways to fix that. I could have stepped up, downed her, stepped up and asked her for the out and made it happen. What I ended up doing here was just trying to down her. So here she needs to cut out where this blue arrow is, and she just does not. So I gave her the out, and she just blew it off. She comes in on the heels of this one. So I do down her, and I tell her get back to go get it. And that was fine. You can do it that way. Not the preferred way, because she didn't really learn to fix the problem. And then here that white-faced heifer is going to try to come back towards the draw because she already saw that her sister made it all the way there. So I do the same thing again, and I really should not have. I tell her just to get back and get it. And you're going to see her heel here, and that's okay. Once she gets the cow moving the direction, she needs to make her point. But then I tell her to down, because I don't want her to continue pushing in on it like she did on that other heifer. When she caused that chaos there, that's when stuff started falling apart. So their walk, and she's doing it. She's walking nicely here. That's perfect. That's what's going to keep your cattle under control. She really needs to arc out farther and catch the heads of the cattle instead of falling in on the heels, and then using the fence line to bring the cattle back to you. It worked in this situation, but it won't always, and it's not the ideal way to do it. So again, what I should have done is I should have downed her. I should have asked her to get out towards the left side of the screen, and then I should have flanked her again around to get the cattle. But see, now we've got them walking nicely. She's far enough off of them. That's perfect. She does not need to be right up on the cattle to move them. We're just going to walk them around a little bit here and get them back together. Make sure they're under control and she's listening, and then I'm going to stop the session.